Yeah, and what have you found? I mean, what are those origins, especially when it comes to phobias that you may have that I don't have? And I might look at you strangely that, Kate, why would you find something I find so easy, funny? Why would you look at it in a different way? So where do those obsessions then come from?
Well, it's a mystery why some of us have particular phobias and others don't. Sometimes it's rooted in a traumatic event in our childhood, for example, and it can be something direct, like if you're bitten by a dog, you might develop a phobia of dogs. But sometimes it's much more strange. It can be a displaced fear, an anxiety, a free-floating anxiety about something could get attached to a particular object. Because some of these phobias are very difficult to explain, like phobias of clusters of holes or a phobia of buttons. And those ones particularly intrigued me, the ones that didn't seem to have any obvious evolutionary origin or didn't have a particular sort of reason in individual lives for being there.
And what I find interesting is that there's a list of up to 153 phobias. I think you can find in the book, Kate, as I'm opening it right now and looking through. It could be nomophobia, the phobia for mobile phones, nymphomania, for sex, shopping, oniomania. There could be, one for monophobia, for solitude. And I just wonder, where's the line between disliking something and having a phobia for something? Because when I look at the one for mobile phones, I think sometimes I don't want to answer calls or text back. Sometimes I don't even want a mobile phone in my midst. But does that mean I have a phobia for it? Or is there a line between dislike and phobia?
Well, there's a technical line that the American Psychiatric Association draws where they say a phobia is when your irrational fear is long-lasting, extreme, and interferes with your daily life. So I think it's when a fear becomes an obstacle to doing things that we would otherwise want to do, that it becomes an anxiety disorder, becomes classified as that, and people might seek treatment for it. As many as 1 in 10 women and 1 in 20 men suffer from a phobia of this sort, a specific phobia of an object or a situation that actually gets in the way of them going about their business.
Well, of course, I have to let you go in a few seconds. Before I do, though, what are you hoping the reader discovers in this book?
Well, I hope they might discover, as I did by researching these phobias and manias, that we're all on the sort of spectrum of it. They're all in the end quite relatable. You can imagine yourself into any one, but also to remind us of how strange we all are and how we're driven by fear and passion, as well as by reason, and how that sort of is fascinating and kind of enriches the world.